Hey guys, Evan7 here, back with a deck profile for INVOKER, but this time it's a breakdown. People were asking me, can I do a breakdown on the deck profile due to my last video of the deck a few days ago. So let's get to it. Son Goku, of course you pitch an extra card against plus 5k. To awaken, you add a Brave Blue extra card to it. And tap one energy and you draw one card. You can add up to 3 different multicolored cards from your drop or warp, or send a 35,000k or less battle card from their opponent's hand to the drop area. We have 3 INVOKER Vegetas. Reason why 3 is because based on the matchups, you can use them that way. Late game, you can just put them in energy or use for awaken. It does give you access to use multicolored cards for 1 cost, energy cost of 1. 4 TOPs, you definitely want to see these in the hand. I always look up the top 2 cards on top of the deck based on early game. Late game, I'll go through all 3. You definitely want to see this in hand. Wearing this together, I run 2. Reason why is that you can always bring them back, and you can also use one to awaken. Of course, it also helps me with draw power as well, because I'm always adding them back to the hand. 4 Rival Seekers. Reason why 4 Rival Seekers are important is a free super combo, and you can add up to 2 multicolor cards from your warp. And he's a 19k. I wish he had deflag. But following up to Rival Seeker, you have 2 Energy Explosions, 6 drops, where you play it on top of the Rival Seeker. You could tap 6, but it's always easy to play it on top. He is an INVOKER, and you untap 3 energy. But first you send them to the drop, and then you withstand them. Of course, with Rival Seeker, I go for Ultra Instinct Goku, Instinct Surpass. These cards come in clutch, man. Late game, he's a deflect and he withstands as long as you send multicolored cards up to 2 from the drop to the warp area. We have 4 Emperor's Death Beam. These cards are a threat because what happened is it negates your opponent's original battle power by 30k. And you can also add them back. You can search. You can use it to awaken. But I definitely keep these in hand mid game, and they come through. I have 3 CP Boy techniques. I used to run 2, but I run 3 now because the game is slower and I have more access to draw more cards. There are times where I actually do have all 3 in hand and I draw as many cards as possible, especially if I'm trying to victory strike them. Topo is the one of course you pitch 1 card. I usually pitch a weirdness together so I can have access to bring it back and recycle. Your opponent has to drop 2 cards in hand, but sometimes they do it and I get scared about that. 4 Sensu Beam, very generic, plus 5k and tapping energy. 1 Tyranny cause. This actually comes in clutch against the Golden Frieza. That's actually why I run it. And if your opponent has more than 11 cards in hand, they shuffle to have 10. The 4 drop Beerus you want to use these against aggro decks late game. Of course, if opponents are trying to come at you early, I usually just keep these in hand. But of course, you definitely want to see these if you know you're going to get, if you're at 3 or 4 life, because your opponent is going to try to attack you. Plus, use this with a Sensu Beam, it gives you more energy to use. 4 D Magics, definitely keep these in hand against aggro. Late game, your opponent might not want to hit you because you can awaken. So you definitely want to use these to take cards from your life to untap just in case. But it's also a negate attack. I run a lot of negates in this deck. 4 Royal Combinations. This is one of the best cards. It prevents opponent's battle cards being played with energy cost of 8 or less, and it's sent to the bottom of the deck. And it's a good search card as well. You can warp it and add multicolors from your to the deck. Not only that, if a card doesn't have deflect, then you good. Cut off your blow. Yes, you can still burn. You can use this to awaken. You can use this to untap, pitch. It's just you're able to use resources in this deck. But capital still work. Of course, it's got been eroded. As y'all know, my feelings were hurt last year when I got hit. Explosive Demon Wave. This is definitely good against that Supreme Kai card that gets played. That when you play a card, you warps a card. It's also a counter attack, so it does work against other counter attack cards and then negates it. And of course, you're tapping blue energy at the end of the turn. And in order to activate this, you have to make sure you put your a red card, which could be a multicolor, red, blue, to the drop in order for this card to activate. Not only that, you can warp it. So you have more warp cards to add more multicolor cards. You have more warp cards. You have more cards to warp so you can add multicolor cards from your deck to your hand. We have 3 CP Boy Tech. I'm sorry, not CP Boys. I'm sorry, guys. It's so late. This is midnight. We have 3 Instinctive Reprisals. Of course, you want to negate as much as possible. Go against Golden Frieza. Always neg their battle cards on field. Always try to neg as many cards on field as possible outside of the unisons, because they, in my mind, they could be going for Cell Surge. They could be trying to go into something else, but they need those battle cards to stay on the field. But don't be afraid to tap 2. This definitely does a lot better against the 1-drop Goku that has been hit on Uniting Spirit, and of course it hits the Vegeta as well because mine is 10. Next we have INVOKER, finest battle card ever. I have to play that off. It's like y'all burying me. Here it is right here. And I don't know, my best friend Awakened Power Son Goku. Apex is always here, and of course Awakened Power is here with me. You tap 5 energy, you shut the whole field off except the extra cards, and he's also a Victory Strike. I definitely play this early, and one of the cool techniques to play is that you play this and then you play that, so you can shut the field off and blow up the field. And also it's good against the blue unison, and he's a Victory Strike. And of course he comes through. I try to play him as soon as possible because I know I have access to another turn, because I want to say the Awakened Power. Apex of Power is a threat. So I hope this breakdown was very quick. It's like midnight, but it's okay. If y'all have any questions, let me know. EvanU7 out, and shout out to my boy David for his birthday leader. I actually use this leader in tournament at my logos. And don't get me wrong, I like both of them, to be honest with you. They're both really cool. But anyway, guys, thank y'all so much. Positive vibes. The Lord loves you. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.